"You're not even half the daughter your sister is," my parents declared at dinner. I shoved my chair back and my mother didn't hesitate at all when she uttered those words right there at the family table. "You're not even half the daughter your sister is." The impact was so intense that the entire room seemed to spin for a second. I shoved my chair back, sensing all those years of holding my tongue coiled tightly in my throat, and replied, "Then let her begin covering your mortgage." Utensils halted midair. My father turned ashen. "Mortgage? What mortgage?" he murmured, as if the revelation could consume him entirely. Yet that instant, the astonishment, the hush, the panic in his gaze, was minor compared to what followed next, because the true hidden truth was still waiting to surface. My name is Nora Ellis, and throughout much of my existence, I've been the reserved member in a household that endlessly praises my sister. Others frequently mistake me for introverted, but that's not entirely accurate. I simply discovered young that in my parents' home, staying silent maintained harmony, and harmony, however delicate, was worth safeguarding in my eyes. From the outside, my existence appears stable. I serve as a finance coordinator at a shipping firm close to Portland's waterfront. I deal with figures, timelines, and processes that are logical. Spreadsheets provide a serenity that everyday life has rarely given me. My routine is reliable. The rumble of machinery at the wharves, the buzz of the workplace, the gentle tap of keys on my computer. I return to a cozy little apartment featuring soft lighting and a vista of the waterway. Certain evenings, I prepare simple meals, pull my hair back, and find solace in minor, structured routines. But this stability concludes each Friday. That's the day I head to my parents' spacious suburban home, surrounded by neatly trimmed bushes and the facade of an ideal household. Once inside, that facade shatters quickly. The instant I cross the threshold, I regress to feeling like a teenager again, the younger sibling, forever in the background of Vivian's shining moments. My sister has forever been the standout. Graceful, self-assured, the type who commands attention in any space and assumes it will remain hers. She argued her path to awards in school, secured a legal scholarship, and entered a profession that drew praise from all before she truly demonstrated her worth. And me, reserved, reliable Nora, observed her claim the center stage as if it were destined. My parents cherish her deeply. They always have. During every reunion, every celebration, every meal together, they present her successes like treasures. Fresh victories in court, advancements in her job, the property she acquired, her future aspirations, her trips, her promise. Then there's me, Nora, who covered her own college fees starting at 17. Nora, who juggled multiple shifts through university. Nora, who refrained from seeking assistance. I grew accustomed to that. It wasn't hatred from my parents toward me. They simply favored the more vibrant narrative. Nonetheless, I continued attending those Friday gatherings because they expected it. My father would remark, "There's always a place for you in this family. Don't let it go unoccupied," partly in jest, partly earnest. My mother would phone if I delayed even briefly. "Family above all," she'd emphasize, although it frequently seemed like Vivian above all rang truer. Those meals followed a familiar pattern. My mother served the usual baked poultry. My father posed the routine inquiries. Vivian recounted her latest triumphs. And I moved bites around my dish, acting as though the heaviness of my unspoken thoughts wasn't overwhelming. But the Friday leading up to the explosion carried a different vibe. My mother cast repeated, piercing looks my way. Vivian appeared exceptionally pleased, as if privy to a secret unknown to me. Even my father's grin seemed forced and unnatural. I detected it, a gathering tension amid the ordinary sounds of cutlery. I simply hadn't anticipated it targeting me initially. That particular Friday meal started much like the rest, yet an unnamed heaviness lingered. My mother lingered by the kitchen range excessively, mixing the same contents repeatedly, her expression rigid. Vivian browsed her device with a smirk that seemed practiced. My father repeatedly cleared his throat, his tell for gearing up to share news. Having experienced countless such evenings, I recognized the signs of impending revelation, but I attempted to dismiss it. I arranged the dishes, aligned the utensils precisely, feigned ignorance of the growing strain in the atmosphere. As we settled in to eat, talk inevitably shifted to Vivian. "She's speaking at an upcoming seminar," my mother announced with pride. "Isn't that impressive?" My father chimed in, beaming at her like a proud advertiser. Vivian feigned humility with a shrug. Well, they recognize excellence when it's there. I ate deliberately, downing portions alongside building frustration. I'd passed the whole workday resolving a budgetary chaos caused by a colleague, yet such efforts never surfaced at our table. My successes resided unnoticed in the margins of my parents' world, hidden among unpaid invoices and overlooked notes. I attempted to steer the discussion. I headed a major initiative at the office recently. My supervisor mentioned, but my mother dismissed it with a gesture. You're managing all right, Nora. However, Vivian's efforts affect so many lives. It's on another level. That jab, precise, biting, deliberate, struck its mark perfectly. I gazed at my food, focusing on steady breaths. Just one more Friday, I reassured myself, one more evening of suppressing my responses. Then my father reclined, releasing a theatrical breath. On the topic of residences, he started, Vivian assisted with reviewing some loan documents recently. She's truly been invaluable. A shiver ran through me. Loan documents. Invaluable. Vivian's smirk grew. It was no major thing. My utensil paused en route to my lips. 3 years of transfers throbbed in my mind. Transfers I'd handled discreetly, sans recognition or thanks, since they'd requested no one fret over it. I'd forgone trips, advanced courses, even saving for my personal place. And now they were altering the facts. Heat built within me gradually, then surged uncontrollably. My mother likely noticed, delivering that condescending head tilt signaling silence from me. Then came the phrase that tore something apart internally. You're not even half the daughter your sister is. The quiet wasn't mere absence of sound, it shattered. I straightened instinctively. I heard the drag of chair on wood. I sensed every repressed sentiment rally, demanding release like a brewing tempest. For the first instance ever at that table, I refused to suppress it. I allowed it to emerge. Her statement carried such effortless conviction that I briefly questioned if she realized its weight. You're not even half the daughter your sister is, delivered as casually as a weather update, as an undeniable reality I'd long ago accepted. Resolve formed within me. I shoved my chair back deliberately, the grating noise slicing the tension sharply. Vivian's expression wavered. My father glanced up in surprise, as though recalling my presence only then. I held my mother's stare, my tone steadier than my emotions. Then let her take over your mortgage payments. Hush descended heavily. My father stammered. Mortgage? What mortgage? His tone wavered, bordering on desperation. I held firm, the house payments, for 3 full years. Instantly, 3 sets of eyes expanded, registering shock, rejection, and near terror. A peculiar relief washed over me, as if unloading an invisible burden. My mother regrouped swiftly. Nora, stop exaggerating. We never demanded it from you. You did, I interjected firmly, monthly please, just help this time. We'll manage soon, avoid any bank warnings. I've handled it all, the transfers, the statements, everything. My father's complexion faded further. This isn't the moment to mention it. It's unsuitable. Classic deflection, belittling, effort to bury the facts in darkness where they wanted me confined. I rose completely, gripping the chair back. What's truly unsuitable is acting as if Vivian rescued a house I sustained single-handedly. Vivian spoke at last, her tone frail. Nora, perhaps you misunderstood. Maybe Mother intended, but I tuned her out. I observed their frantic attempts to reshape the narrative into something palatable. And for once, I refused to conform. A switch flipped inside, decisive, unmistakable, permanent. Wordlessly, I exited the room, seized my jacket, and emerged into the chilly Portland evening. My exhales trembled, yet not from remorse. It stemmed from the jolt of finally voicing my stance after endless compliance. Later in my apartment, I accessed my computer, located the recurring transfer, and selected cancel. A confirmation prompt appeared. Confirm, this time absolutely. Halting the transfers ought to have brought finality, yet it unlocked deeper layers. For the initial period in years, my balance remained intact mid-month. My parents' radio silence echoed profoundly. I began jogging by the river each dawn. Initially to calm my unsteady grip, but eventually the steady stride evoked liberation. I enrolled in a weekly culinary session at the local center. I mastered crafting fresh dough and sharing chuckles with unfamiliar faces unaware of my relatives. Friends even convinced me for trail walks near Mount Hood, where the breeze felt pure, untainted by prior demands. Distance granted sharper perspective. Each only this month. Each keep it private. Each instance of lauding Vivian as I covered costs quietly. Then the image arrived. On a Sunday dawn, from Mrs. Jensen, the observant elderly neighbor of my parents. She sent a snapshot of our old house, adorned with a large sign on the front. Felicitations to Vivian for safeguarding the family residence. My frame froze. Safeguarding Vivian. My neck tensed staring at the sign, fingers tingling. Every overnight transaction, every compromise, every self-reminder that kin mattered most. All reframed as if my role vanished. No tears this round. A different sensation arose, keener, firmer. I proceeded to my table, retrieved the binder holding printed records of every transaction and invoice over 3 years, and sorted them chronologically. It resembled not mere documents, but a subtle chronicle of devotion. Then Sarah rang. "Nora, you need to hear this," she murmured. "Your folks are arranging a relatives' gratitude event next month in Seattle. They tasked me with the presentation. I prepared inwardly. All about Vivian, right? Worse, actually." Her unease was audible. They're portraying her as the key to saving the property. Provided captions label her family pillar. Pillar, rescuer, champion. Terms I'd rightfully claimed yet never heard. "Forward the presentation," I requested. She paused. Certain, completely. Upon receipt, opening it drew a bitter chuckle. Images of Vivian posing confidently before the house. Parents embracing her outside. Texts reading, "Gratitude to Vivian for securing our family dwelling." I duplicated it, inserting the omitted facts. Post their closing frame, I added a payment chronology, graphs of ongoing aid, redacted message captures from mother, intent evident. Final frame, house image with note, truth merits inclusion as well. Secured copies digitally and on a portable drive, carried like a vital pulse. Time elapsed. I relocated to a fresh Seattle residence, airy, serene, boasting expansive windows overlooking the cityscape. Acquired a pale sofa, compact wooden table, single high shelf. For the premiere in my years, I entered a space wholly mine. Then the invite came. Mother's text, relatives' gratitude meal, attire formal, 0 context, 0 admission, 0 remorse. Yet on the date, my purpose wasn't approval-seeking. It was completion. The downtown Seattle venue shimmered with warm golden illumination. Peering through windows revealed known outlines. Parents, Vivian in vibrant green attire, extended kin unseen for ages, all attired as for a ritual. In essence, it was. I lingered near entrance, unobserved, as father grasped the mic. "We're gathered," he stated grandly, "to celebrate our girl Vivian, the one who rose in tough periods, aiding preservation of our long-standing family property." Cheers, grins, flashes. Presentation commenced. Vivian outside. Vivian with documents. Vivian beside mother. Phrase upon phrase crafting falsehood, then display shifted. Graphs emerged, more followed, dates, amounts. 3 years backing displayed starkly. Venue hushed. Parents stiffened. Vivian's jaw dropped. I advanced into view. Should truth discomfort anyone here, I noted evenly, that's beyond my concern. All faces pivoted. Father regarded me as an unforeseen specter. Mother's features folded, not remorsefully, but anxiously over exposure. Vivian's gaze held panic, not regret. I approached the display. 3 years I covered the house loan. Every single month, discreetly, reliably. While you directing at parents altered facts for simpler cheers, father attempted interruption. Nora discussed privately. For what reason? I countered. You assembled all to celebrate Vivian's role. Why deny them mine? Murmurs ignited rapidly. Always sensed irregularity. Endless overtime. 3 years all hers. Vivian rose unsteady. I never requested this. You merely nothing. I stated factually, sans malice. You relished starring in an unearned tale. Mother voiced at last. Nora, we aim to spare your embarrassment. A gentle laugh escaped. Spare me via falsehoods. The drive weighed in my pocket, yet screen sufficed. No intent for further assault. Goal wasn't victory, it was visibility. To clarify, no interest in the property, nor a claim, simply refusal of erasure. Quiet lingered post my retreat from display. Father extended arm. Nora, hold on. I proceeded regardless, departing lighter than in ages. Exterior, crisp Seattle dusk enveloped me. On steps, inhaling deeply, insight dawned. Not vengeance. Liberation. Within, debates, tears, rejections possible. Irrelevant. Facts voiced, I'd emerged from imposed shade. And light claimed cannot be relinquished. 2 days later, tending a balcony plant, knocks sounded. Peering, parents appeared diminished, huddled. Mother's eyes puffy. Father's posture rigid, etched deeper by urban chill perhaps. I unlocked silently. They entered cautiously, surveying my space as foreign territory. Light flooded vast windows, highlighting shelves, fresh table, self-crafted calm. Mother initiated. Nora, we apologize. Tone fractured. We erred gravely. Allowed narrative distortion. Shouldn't have burdened you solo, father supplemented. We've reflected, wish your name on title. You've merited it, I absorbed, calmly clear. Unnecessary, my own residence now. Respect, truth, that's what mattered, not ownership. Silence ensued. Mother's fingers trembled. Father eyed ground as truth relocated him. Anger faded, I noted softly, but invisibility ends. Any reconstruction begins there. Atmosphere altered, not instant pardon but possibility. Space for unburdened breaths, free of outdated tailies. Post-departure, space glowed brighter. To balcony, viewing horizon, acknowledging irreversible boundary crossed, and future wholly owned. I remained balcony-side post their exit, observing Seattle glows in night. Long-believed peace required muteness. Reality. Quiet doesn't safeguard, it obliterates. Prioritizing self didn't shatter kin, it shattered the confining narrative. Perhaps that's true commencement. If you've borne silent loads or been omitted from your tale, share below. I review all. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories, get more experiences.